Hello, everyone! I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons. I hope you're all doing well today. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, today I want to carry on with the kind of theme of upgrades that we started last time. And what I want to upgrade today is I want to upgrade our inventory capacity. So, of course, we have our standard inventory capacity here, but we also have some backpacks. For example, we have the backpack that we have in the backpack slot here, the green one, which we use to carry a lot of the important things I need on a day-to-day basis. We also have this backup backpack, which I use to carry some of the things that I need for certain things, including what we're going to be doing today, because we actually need these for today as well. But I want to upgrade that because this backpack I'm holding right now is kind of been a backup one. I didn't have it for the longest time. I only added it because we had so much issues with storage in this thing, which of course now we have the toolbox, so I don't have to carry all the tools in here, so that's freed up space in here. But I still want something better. We need some sort of a better alternative backpack. Of course, we're going to keep this one right here, but this one I think is going to be replaced with something else, something better. And that something is going to be an adventure backpack. That's what we're going to be making today. So we'll take a look here at the quest, which is actually located in the Without Dying tab. It's this one right here. Sometimes life is scary and dark. Bring a backpack. So the quest states that now that you are MV, well, we're not MV just yet, you can make an adventure backpack. This very useful backpack can do many things. It can store 2 tools for quick access, has internal tanks for containing liquids, use the hoe to access them, a built-in crafting table, and storage. When placed on your back, it can be accessed using a quick access key. Default is B. Check your controls for details. When placed on the ground, it can be accessed with a right click. While on the ground, the bedroll can be deployed and used. They can also be upgraded to add special abilities. For a full list, visit that right there. So this is a pretty good sounding thing right here. So essentially, it's a combination of a backpack, a sleeping bag, and a crafting table, apparently. So it's going to be quite good. We're going to be able to save on inventory slots because I won't need to carry this around anymore. I won't need to carry around a sleeping bag anymore. And we might even be able to put some of our most used tools in there as well, it sounds like. So this could be quite good. And I want to get to work on making that today, alongside a few other things as well. So let's get started. So it is nighttime, so we are going to also go to sleep here before we get to work on the adventure backpack. So if we come back to the quest and look at the recipe for this, this is what we're going to need in order to make this right here. So a lot of this is pretty easy. The sleeping bag we actually have on us. Iron chest is easy. Aluminum plate, we have that. These backpack tanks is essentially just a normal tank, so that's easy to get. The hard part is this one right here, the hardened leather, which I think we took a look at this last time. So essentially to make this, we're going to have to use the forming press. We're going to have to use tanned leather with this wax. This wax is going to come from some beeswax, and this beeswax is going to come from candleberry. So we're going to have to start by extracting some candleberry into some beeswax right here inside the extractor. So I believe it's going to be a stack of candleberry in total that we're going to need. So let's go over here and grab that. Yep, there we go. I have been farming them out there in the outside area. I showed that last time as well, I believe. So we're going to put that into an extractor, which is right here. And off it goes. So that is probably going to take a few minutes. So while we are waiting for that to finish, I want to set up something else because we're not just doing the adventure backpack today. We're also doing some other stuff. And the thing I want to do is actually down here. So what I want to try and do is I want to do a little bit of an add-on to this thing right here. So this is our silicon dioxide into raw silicon setup. The way it works right now is we have to input silicon dioxide dust manually, and it will give us raw silicon dust. But what if we could automate the production of silicon dioxide? Well, that's exactly what we're about to do. So what I have up here is essentially a full processing chain of turning cobblestone into raw silicon, and that's just the byproduct we get from making the raw silicon right there. But it will also give us oxygen because of this recipe here. So we're essentially going to be turning cobblestone into silicon and oxygen. And oxygen is quite important since we use it quite a bit now. So what are we going to need to do in order to do this? Well, cobblestone we are going to want to turn first into the gravel inside of a forge hammer. Gravel is going to be used to turn into flint inside of a sifter. With flint, we are able to put that into a macerator, and 2 flint will give us a flint dust. A flint dust can be turned into silicon dioxide dust inside of a centrifuge, and silicon dioxide dust can be turned into the raw silicon dust inside the chemical reactor. This stuff we've already got set up right here. We just have to add on everything up to making this. So, I have the machines we're going to need in order to do this. So we have a macerator, centrifuge, forge hammer, and sifting machine. Now, something else I want to mention about this is how are we going to power this? Well, this is where the new creation of the lossless redstone alloy cables is going to come into use here. Because if we look at the normal kind of power cost of this, let's just take a look at the making of the gravel and the flint first. So the gravel is made inside the forge hammer at 16 EU a tick. The flint is made inside of a sifter at 16 EU a tick. Combined, that's 32 EU a tick, which is essentially 1 full amp of LV power. But if I wanted to use 1 turbine to power this, we can't do that because we would have a cable loss at some point. But with lossless cables, essentially, I can do both these recipes off 1 turbine. So it kind of saves us on the amount of turbines we need to use. And essentially, what we're going to need in order to run all of this is just 3 turbines, I believe, now. All these machines we're going to install right here. So I've got 3 turbines set up here. And all we need to do is first install the redstone alloy cables. I believe, yeah, they've all got steam in them. And I am going to actually need to do that, I think. We are going to need to grab our wire cutter, which is inside the toolbox. So let's do that quick. There we go. Put that one there. Make sure, are you connected? It looks like you are. Yep. There we go. I think that's all connected up there. So we're going to make that there, 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 and there. And now we go ahead and make the actual machines into place, which is actually quite simple to do. So the first one we need is the forge hammer. It's going to go on the end right here. Next, we need the sifter, which is going to go right here. Then we're going to need the macerator. And the basic centrifuge goes right here. Right, so now we come to the part, how are we going to get the cobblestone for doing this? Well, there's 2 options we have. Cobblestone, we know, can be made inside of a rock breaker, but it does cost 32 EU a tick, and this is something that would be running pretty constantly, and 32 EU a tick's a lot of cobblestone, a lot of power to make cobblestone. So what I was thinking was, if we come up here, and over to here, we have this barrel, which I store all my cobblestone in, and I have 62.6 thousand cobblestone. So what I'm thinking is we're just going to manually give this thing cobblestone by grabbing a barrel like so and filling up our inventory with it. And we're just going to fill this barrel up like so until it's completely full. And we're just going to do that. Whenever I need to refill this barrel, I will. I just think this is going to be a little bit more power effective because look at all this cobblestone. We don't even use it for hardly anything. All right, is that everything? 64, there we go. And we are going to need to grab a dolly. Take the dolly over to here. And actually, I think we're going to need some conveyors for this as well. So let me grab some because I didn't. I have 1. Can we make a few more? Rubber sheets. I think we have some in here. Not many. But enough. Right, I don't think we really need to worry too much about conveyors and pumps and all that for this. Just for the input, I think we will. So let's go ahead and put this over here. And pollution, of course, is still bad. But we'll be dealing with it very, very soon. I know I keep saying it, but it's coming very soon. So what we're going to do is going to put the conveyor module on the forge hammer. Import, I believe, is what we want. We're going to turn... Nope, not that. We're going to turn off the that right there. That does get in the way sometimes. There we go. So this is going to start making the gravel for us. So now all we need to do is grab our wrench, set the item auto output into the sifter, and that's off and running now. 30 seconds. We should end up getting our hands on some flint. It's guaranteed to give you one, and it's got a pretty high chance of giving you more than one. 90% for a second, 80% for a third, 60% for a fourth, and it keeps going from there. So we'll see what we get from that. Look at how much gravel we're already getting. Wow. So this should be a pretty fast process, I believe. We're already getting 30 seconds almost done. Let's see how much we get in the first round here. So we got 2 flint already. So we put that in item auto output, and that will turn itself into flint dust. Now that does take 10 seconds, but 1 flint dust is essentially going to be enough to give us, I believe, 1 silicon dioxide. So item auto output, and that will run for a few seconds. Silicon dioxide, and then we will take that into the barrel, which will eventually be sucked into the chemical reactor and then fully processed into the raw silicon. We've already set that up. That's already done. So this is just going to keep running off of the cobblestone we have here. So, again, these 2 steps are where things slow down a bit, especially the sifter. So they should last a decent amount of time. This is all stopped up now. That's why it's, you know, not doing much, but we're going to make some progress. Although, how's that already gone down? Oh, it's only done 3 stacks. There's the first, second, and that must be the 3rd stack, right? Yeah, so it's not going to drop the cobblestone much, and we should get a lot. Look at that. We're already making it. We've already got 1 raw silicon dust, so this is going to be a pretty fast process, and we get the added bonus of getting some oxygen, which we do need in order to run various things. See, there's the oxygen coming in right there. So that's quite good. Right, so we're going to let that run for a bit, and I want to check and see how much stuff we've actually gotten by the end of today's episode. So let's head back up here now that that is all done. That wasn't too difficult. Let's put the dolly away. In fact, let me put the these cables away as well, and the conveyor modules, and we will get on with the other stuff. Wow, we're really out of stuff here, aren't we? I've only got some conveyor modules and the pumps. Motors, I've got 12, and oh, I've got plenty in there. Right, so we should be done with this. Yep, we are. So there's our beeswax. Right, so we need to turn that into normal wax now, which is going to need a compressor. That will be much faster. So put that into here, and it looks like my stuff here. By the way, I've been running this to get our hands on a lot more cobalt and arsenic. So we upgraded our tools into cobalt last time, which is quite good. And, well, I have an easy way to get cobalt now as well as arsenic, so it's quite good. I'm going to leave the arsenic in there for now, because I'm probably going to turn that into dust. But the cobalt's quite good. And this is just such a good upgrade, I think, because, you know, Obsidianite does need some steel. This doesn't need steel, and it's a lot easier to make, in my opinion, especially with the blast furnace. Now, one thing I will mention is it does give you a tremendous amount of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. These are already full. So what I've done is, in the blast furnace, you have this option here to change the voiding mode. So I have it set to void the excess fluids because I don't need all those. I don't think we do. I know we can reprocess them at some point, but I just don't think it's worth it. You can also change this if you want to void excess items and fluids, void nothing, void excess items, void excess fluids, but I think that's the best one because I don't know why you would want to void the excess items. I mean, sometimes you get these ashes right here. In fact, let me take those and put those over to here. And let's also go to sleep since it is nighttime. Okay, so let's check on you. There we go. So there's our wax right there. So now we need to make the hardened leather. We need wax, and we do need tanned leather. So how much do we have in here? 3 tanned leather. Do I have any more here? Nope, but I do think we have some over here that I've been preparing. And we do, actually. Perfect. So I think we actually need 8 in total, so this should be enough. So we should take this over to our forming press, which is... where would that be? Oh, it's right there. So tan leather, wax, and that will take about a minute then, and we'll get ourselves the hardened leather, I believe it was, out of that. Right, let's go see if we've got everything else prepared to make this adventure backpack then. And there's the ink sac right there. Throw that into the trash. Right, so I don't think we need this anymore, so I'm going to take that off. Whoops, I didn't mean to take that one. But, alright, so adventure backpack. We have... nothing. Okay, no, we're not doing that one. We're doing this one because we have the sleeping bag. Oh, we're short on a tank. Right, so I only have one of those then. Right, we need to make another one. Ah, I forgot about this. This was a pain, wasn't it? I haven't had to make these in forever. Okay. I guess it makes sense that something would stand in our way here, wouldn't it? Right, so we're gonna need strengthened glass or obsidian glass. Right, I remember this. Okay, what about the strengthened glass? How do you make that? Chemical reactor. Molten glass. Or you can use this, actually. You can use the thermionic fabricator. Iron, obsidian, and you get 4. Okay. Certus, quartzite. Right, okay. This sounds like it might be doable, although saltpeter dust. Right, let's do some investigations here on our dust and see what we have. Obsidian dust. We don't have any there, but I know we have some obsidian ingots here. Just need 4. Alright, let's do some investigation. So what do we need for this strengthened glass here? So if we use the thermionic fabricator recipe, I know we could do that, but that's molten glass. Let's see. So, oh, this is tin dust as well. So we need 1 iron, 1 tin, 2 saltpeter, and then one of the quartz ones. Let's put you inside the macerator first. Alright, so iron dust. We needed tin dust. Saltpeter. Do we have that? I do not know. Saltpeter dust. No, we don't have saltpeter dust, but I might have something in here. Yes, I do, actually. I have an impure pile of saltpeter dust, right? I can run that through the centrifuge, I think. So let's do that. I don't think anything's running in here, so... that'll give us saltpeter. What do we get from that? More saltpeter, right. So that'll give us the saltpeter we need, which was... we needed 2 saltpeter for that. We also need to give this thing some sort of a sand or something like that, or glass. That's easy to do. Right, there's the obsidian dust, and saltpeter is right there. Let's block that. Alright, so did we get everything we needed? Yep, I think we did. Nope, we didn't. I just remembered. We needed quartz as well. I almost forgot about that. Where's that at? Quartzite. That'll work. We just need to do this one time, I think, and we can make a few. Alright, so let's go head on over then to the thermionic fabricator over here. We do need sand, I believe. What do we have in here right now? Oh, we have sandstone in here. Alright, we don't need any sand, actually. So if I take these off... right, so we're gonna do... something like that. It's actually the tin on the other side, isn't it? And then quartzite there. I think that was what we wanted, although actually... oh, maybe it wanted that as well. Beeswax. Do we need to make this? That might be a bit more tricky then. Oh, wait a minute. Empty honeycomb. We have those. Is that gonna work? Oh, wait, maybe not. Why is it taking the glass then? Hang on a minute. Let's take a look. Is it working? I'm trying to think here. What is going on with that? Okay, maybe we do need something. Now, it says no recipe. I don't think it's doing anything. Alright, well, we need to get the empty honeycombs then, right? Let's try that then. Where would those have been? I know I have some because we went to that beehive once. Oh, let's try and look for that. We need this wax cast thing, right? beeswax. Empty honeycomb. Oh, we can use any honeycomb, actually. Well, I have plenty of that. Right, how much do we need for this? Then we just needed the 9, I believe it was. In the forming press or the alloy smelter, either will work. Wax cast and empty honeycomb. Yes, that should work. We just put it into a centrifuge. I just need to do 9. That should work. All right. Okay, so I guess I missed that part of that recipe there. I've never made the strengthened glass before, but it did seem a little bit more efficient to make this. All this to make a tank, of course, as well. It does seem more efficient than the obsidian glass, which we only get the 1 from 4 obsidian. This is going to give us 4 for 4 obsidian dust, so it does seem more efficient. So we'll see. Let's put this sand away as well. Why did it take all that? Why did it take all the liquid glass we already had in there, though? Even though that wasn't working. Not sure. You put that recipe in, right? Let's see again. Saltpeter on top, iron tin. Yeah, I did. Right, well, we must need to get that wax cast then to make it. That must be the reason. So, let's see what happened. There we go, beeswax. And we do need to get the block mold. Put that into here. That should make what I want. Yes, there it is, wax cast. Alright, that should work then. Let's put that into here, and that should do it. Missing liquid resources. Right, this has to heat up, doesn't it? I think it does. Okay, that's going to take a bit of time, actually, isn't it? Alright, let's go and see if we have all the other things we need to make this tank here. In fact, we should have all the other things as well here. Yep, there's the hardened leather. Strengthen. Nope, we're making the tank. Do we have everything for that? No, we need iron rings. That will be from right here. Hammer and file to make those. Be able to make more later. That will give us all of that, and then the actual adventure backpack, we are missing the aluminum plate and the iron chest. I think I have one in here. Iron chest. Aluminum plate. And there we go. Strengthened glass, finally. I arrived just in time to pick that up. And now we can make our tank that we're looking for here. So that will make the tank. We should have another one here. Turn those into the backpack tanks. I think that's everything. Oh, I could have done that one, actually. No, we need to turn the sleeping bag over as well into this one. Now we can make it. There we go. Adventure backpack. There we go. We got it. Right, so how do we use this thing? So I think we can actually place this down like a block. Yep. We open it up. There we go. So basically what this thing does is it gives us a couple of things. We can use this. I think this is a crafting table right here. This is used to store fluids. We can use this to go to sleep if we wanted to. Yep, there's a sleeping bag. In fact, it's actually just about to be nighttime. So we can test that as well. Now, I think there is a way also to wear this. So I think if I shift right click, I think that equips it on me. Do I see it? Yep, there it is. It's on me. So that's how you equip that. And the keybind, so I have the B set to this backpack, so I think I've got it set to another key. I think I did N. Yep, there it is. So that's how we access that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't even need that, actually. If I just go to my inventory, there's a new slot here, so I don't even need a keybind for that, actually. If I just open up my inventory, it pops up here. And this is quite a nice amount of storage right here, and we should be able to go to sleep if I hold shift like that, and I think click that, and we're off to bed. Lovely. So that's going to save on some inventory slots right there. So this backpack right here, all the stuff I'm having there, kind of my overflow stuff, we don't need in there anymore. In fact, I'm going to put the strengthened glass here for now as well. And yeah, I don't even need the key to open it directly. I can just do that. That works just fine, I think. But yeah, I can store all my other stuff in here. This is even a crafting table. Does it work with things like the Tinker Tools? Probably not. So, yeah, that seems quite good. That's quite a nice upgrade. So I don't need to even carry this extra crafting station with me anymore either. I can probably put that somewhere since I now have a crafting table on the go. Yeah, so this is a pretty big upgrade right here. I'm quite happy with this. Now, there are other things we can do with it as well, I should mention. So, we've unlocked some more quests, you see, and so we can upgrade this backpack now to other things if we want to. So, let's see, this one, swim like a squid. If you need to go deep or explore in the water, this is the backpack for you. So, if we give it some stuff, oxygen mask. MV, so we can't make that one yet. This one, milk without the cow. A cow backpack will generate milk from wheat placed in its inventory. That one we can make if we wanted to. Creeper repellent. An ocelot backpack will get those creepers running away from you. That sounds interesting. Just some raw cod and yellow wool. That's not bad either. See like a bat. Night vision is a great backpack ability. Now that one sounds quite useful. But we're going to need night vision goggles. How do you make that? Nope, we can't do that. Stainless steel. I've never seen any of these things right here. Sensor lens. HV circuits. Wow, okay, so this is a complicated one. What's this one here? EV circuits. Right, we definitely can't make this anytime soon. So no night vision for us. What is this one? Here there be dragons. The dragon backpack gives you 5 resistance, strength, night vision, and regeneration. It may be really good, but also uses up a dragon egg, so be sure you want it or can craft another. It's a dragon egg, right? So we won't be able to do that. We'd have to go fight the Ender Dragon, which I don't even think we can do since we can't make Eyes of Ender yet. Oink. While the pig backpack is useless on its own, it can be turned into a pretty powerful tool with the right motivation. Not just some raw pork chops for that. Walk through fire. Is that a zombie pigman right there? That one's interesting. Pigman. The pigman backpack will make the nether easy peasy with fire resistance. You'll have to figure out a way to get struck by lightning or wearing a pig backpack to get it. Right, okay. So yeah, there's some upgrades we can do. It seems like a lot of them, at least a lot of the most useful ones, are not available right now. Although this one might be doable. Because it's just a matter of getting a pig, although getting struck by lightning might... there might be a way. There are mobs that strike you with lightning. That might be a way to do that. Right, so I might do that at some point, but we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of the adventure backpack right there. So yeah, this is quite good. Quite happy with this. Again, we can sleep with it now. We don't even need to use the sleeping bag. And oh, the tools as well. I don't know how that's going to work. So if I had things like a wrench and a wire cutter here. So how did that work again? Is there like a... control for that? Let's see. It can store 2 tools. Quick access. How would I access those? Right, that's probably somewhere in the controls or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that then. I'll figure that out at some point, but that might be quite good for storing some of the more useful tools, maybe like the wrench and the wire cutter. So I might try that as well. So I don't need this anymore then. So we can officially retire this backpack right here. I'll put you with the other backpacks. And yeah, we got that done. Right, so there was something else I had bookmarked, but I accidentally removed it earlier. So there was one more thing I want to make as well. In fact, actually, there's a few more things I want to do. I wanted to do this quickly, which was an armor we hadn't made yet. It's just made out of ironwood. I think we've got that right here somewhere. There it is. It's just an easy one to make. So we just want to make the armor for that. And I think it's just something like this, right? Yep. This is an easy one. Ironwood boots and ironwood plate. So that's magic armor. It's actually interesting because they come pre-enchanted. Aqua affinity, protection 1, feather falling. Well, we don't really need those right there. So let's put those away over here. We might as well add them to the enchanted armor chest. And that's all the armor quests actually done now. That we can do at least. So that's quite good. Right, so there was one other thing, though, I wanted to do, and it was right here, getting around. This is something I said I was going to do a while ago, and I forgot about it, honestly, but it was this right here, the Electrotine Jetpack. We haven't actually made this yet, and I want to try and get this made because we've never made a jetpack before, and I think this would be kind of something fun to do. Now, I don't think it's a really, really good one, but it's something to try out. So we're going to need a diamond chest plate, which I believe we have in here. That's enchanted. Do I have? Yep, there we go. Non-enchanted. But I wonder, actually, if you gave it an enchanted one, would it keep the enchantment? It doesn't matter. So we're going to need that. We are going to need these batteries, right? So this is the Electrotine stuff. So let's go grab some Electrotine then, since it sounds like we're going to need some. So Electrotine is right there. Let's head back up. Right, so we needed to make batteries. I think we had, yeah, we already made one for quest early. We just need to make 3 more. So that's going to be 18 Electrotine. And then we need to use the canning machine, I believe, with the battery holes, which are right here. Make sure canner, right. That's how we do it. There we go. All right, what else are we going to need? 2 electronic circuits. 4 times gold wire, right? Put that away into the wire mill then, quick. And what else was this? Glowstone plate. Glowstone in a cutting machine. Alright, we should have some glowstone somewhere. In here? Yes, there we go. They just need to put you into a cutting machine, and I think that should be all the pieces on their way. 5 seconds. Alright, so there's the batteries. Here's the gold wire. How much did we need? 4 times gold wire. Alright, and that should be glowstone plates. Right, do I have everything we need to make the well, not backpack. The jetpack. I almost had the right pack. It's a jetpack, not a backpack. Right, so let's bookmark that then. No, no circuits in here. No circuits, right. Well, that's not a problem because we have plenty of circuits right here. Let's put that right there, and now we have a jetpack. Lovely, right. So, we have a jetpack, but it needs charge, and we don't have any charge in this thing yet, so we have to go to the next quest, I believe, which is to refill your jetpack. So, great! You now have an empty jetpack. You need 25 Electrotine dust to completely fill it. Let's craft an Electrotine generator and a charging bench to use the power of Electrotine. You will very quickly discover that while it is fast and cheap, it's empty in the blink of an eye. Despite this, it is useful in combination with the hang glider to get into the air and get away from hairy situations. Okay, so we're going to need an Electrotine generator, which needs more batteries, an LV circuit and bricks, charging bench, which is a little bit involved, copper coil, bar plate. Okay, this one is a little bit involved, but we'll get there. So Electrotine generator, this one looks fairly simple. Let's bookmark these. Anything else it needs? No, that's just a full power jetpack, right. So, Electrotine generator, what do we have? We're just missing the batteries, that's easy. So, we need to grab 2 more battery holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, refill your jetpack. Why did that already count? Interesting, it's actually already completed the quest just all of a sudden there. Right, well we still need these anyways if we want to try this jetpack out. So there's the extra batteries right there. Can I get this thing, the Electrotine generator? Yes, I can. So you're off the list, you're off the list, and now we need the charging bench, which is going to need 2 more batteries. So let's do that again. I keep opening that one looking for batteries, don't I? So put those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are going to then need steel plate, LV machine hull we have. LV circuits, I believe we have. So what else do we need? Copper wires. We have those as well. They're in here. That should be those. Charging bench. And we just need this copper coil right here. So copper ingot and the draw plate. Right, so this is... Draw plate. Right, this is... These are the micro blocks. Wait a minute here. So we need to go through... Okay, so this is quite involved. So we're going to need an iron block, and we're going to need a diamond block, right? So let's go grab some diamonds then. Let's go to bed as well, since it is nighttime again. Can't deploy the sleeping bag. Right, let's get into a more open area. There we go. Right, so this is quite good then. I don't have to carry around a sleeping bag in one of my inventory slots anymore. I'm real happy with that. Alright, so where's the diamonds? They're right here. Oh, I am processing some new stuff. We have sapphire now being processed. I hit up a sapphire vein in the Twilight Forest not too long ago. So, we got quite a collection over here. We've got some rubies, we've got some sapphires, emeralds, and diamonds. So, we're doing quite good. And also, the sapphires give you a byproduct of some alumina. So that's quite good for when we need to get some more aluminium made up. Let's head up here again. And we'll put you inside the compressor. We're going to need to grab the forge microblock saw thing, I believe it was. That is in here. Right. So this will be interesting then. The fact that we have to use those for making things. So there's the diamond block. So what do we need for this? We need a block of diamond panel. Which is just going to be that on top of you twice. In fact, let's try the adventure backpack just to see if that works. It does. Block of diamond panel. Okay, so we have that. Okay, we don't need that for this, so let's do that. So this is going to need the block of iron post, which is going to be a panel slab. Okay. I think it was that and that. Post, we needed 4 of those, I believe it was. So we should be able to come here, surround you, and we get the draw plate, and then we just need a single copper ingot to get the copper coil. Wow. I don't know why that has to be so complicated, but we got there in the end, and there's some extra batteries, and that should be the charging bench. Lovely. There's the Electrotine generator there. Alright, let's go quickly. I just noticed also this draw plate has durability, so it's like a tool then. Alright, we'll keep you in there for now. Alright, so let me go put these parts away. Where would we put those? I guess they'd fit in here then. You in there. And, oh, we need 25 Electrotine, don't we? We need to get a bit more. Let's grab another stack, and then we'll figure out how to charge this thing. So, Electrotine. Got that. Right, let's go take a look then. Right, so I think we're going to... Where should we put these? Actually, right here would be good. Let's move this barrel of torches. This is why I keep my spare torches. Let's move you right there, and then... Yeah, we'll put the Electrotine generator and the charging bench. Okay, so what are these for? Why do we need 2 things? So the Electrotine generator. Right, how does this work? So I'm assuming the jetpack would go in here, but it needs Electrotine. So can this thing... Right, do I put that in? Okay, there we go. Okay, so it actually goes directly into here, I guess. Nothing's happening in you yet. Here we go. Something just happened. It's starting to fill in now. Okay, it doesn't look like... It actually looks like it's speeding up as well. Yeah, so this will take maybe a couple of minutes possibly to fill in, but it looks like it's getting some durability now. Right, so that's quite good then. It looks like we are getting somewhere on that. So let's put these away quick. Put away these gold wires. Put away, I guess, the extra electrotine, since we should have enough in there to do what we need. Put you right there. Now let's go see how much raw silicon we have. So we have some raw silicon. Let's see how much we got. I think we started with 20, so let's see what we've got now. We've only used a little bit of cobblestone, and we now have 59 raw silicon. So we've gained quite a bit, almost 40. Oxygen is also increasing as well, since that's going to be giving us oxygen as well. So yeah, this does seem to be doing quite well. That's going to give us a decent amount, because we need raw silicon for a lot of stuff here going forward. Right, so that's quite good then. Let's put these wire cutters away. Alright, so how is that jetpack coming along? How much has it charged? 27%? Okay, not that bad. Take a couple more minutes probably, right? So while we're waiting for that, then let's go ahead then and claim our rewards, because I think that was what I wanted to get done for today. I got that. I did this one earlier, actually. This is something I made not long ago, was the bounce pad. It's actually kind of a fun block right here, so... This thing right here wasn't hard to make. It's just some slime stuff. But basically the way it works is if I were to place this thing down, this blue thing right here kind of tells you the direction it will bounce you. So if I kind of run up to this, it's kind of fun, especially with the hang glider. If I run up to this, it bounces you away. It's actually really, really cool. Let's actually try this thing quick. It's actually really, really cool. I was trying it up the top of the mountain, so let's go up there quick. So at the top of here is actually where we're going to be moving our crop breeding area. What I want to try and do is I want to try and get to the MV circuits so that we can make the scanner, because that's going to really improve our crop breeding capabilities, because we'll be able to see the specific stats, but we're going to move the crop breeding area we have up here. We're going to have to get back into that real soon, but we're going to need the scanner, which needs more MV circuits first. Right, so if I place this thing down right here, this is kind of fun, actually, and we run up to it. Watch this. It launches you across the mountain. I can use the hang glider. Just gives you a nice little running start there. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so let's get that back and take it with us. There we go. And let's head back down. So yeah, that's something I made. I thought that was kind of a nice little item. We're pretty high up. I mean, that mountain is huge, isn't it? Whoops. There we go. Alright, let's put this bounce pad away right here. So, how are you? 64% right. Alright, let's take a look at the quest then that we completed today. So, we got I did the bounce pad one already, which is going to give us... slime spawn egg. Why not? I don't want that in my hand. I don't want to unleash a slime on me. So, Electrotine Jetpack. Oh, we have plenty of that. Feather Falling 2. Or a loot bag, why not? Solar panel. Or 2 loot bags. How do you make a solar panel? Let's take a look at that one. Solar... This one right here, I think it was. Let's see, Project Red. Can't actually tell. It looks like that one. How do you make that? From a normal solar panel. LV... Carbon plate. Okay, it does seem to be a little complicated to make this, but... Wafers. Right, this seems quite involved. Okay, so I think we probably should take that. I know that's 2 LV loot bags, but... what are the odds we're going to end up getting something like food that we don't need? Solar panel. That seems like the right one. Let's do it. We got that one, and then... We also completed the ones here. Right, we got the magic armor. We don't need those, I don't think. Although they also come enchanted as well. Knockback 1, fortune 1 on an axe. Interesting. I'm breaking one in a shovel and another loot bag. We'll take that instead. And the adventure backpack, which gives us 64 beef Wellington. And a hose. Right, that's going to be for the backpack, I think. Okay, we got that done. 64 beef Wellington, though. That's a lot of food. Hose. How does that work? Do we put that in something? Left tank. Does it go in here? I don't know. Alright, I'll keep that in there for now. I'll have to look into that as well, because I think this thing also fills with fluids as well. Alright, beef Wellington. We don't have any, so we'll just add that to here. And let me quickly put these coins away as well. What else do we have? Blacksmith. There we go. Alright, and let me put that spawn egg up as well, and then we'll go ahead and test out that jetpack, because I'm quite curious to see how that is. That was the first slime spawn egg I just noticed as well. Alright, so solar panel, where we put that at? It seems like it's related to this. I mean, I know I don't have light here, but I'm just gonna pop you down there. That probably is how that works, is what I would assume, even though it won't work right now. Yep, it's done. Fully charged. Alright, so we'll hold on to those loot bags for now. We'll open those up after this, but I want to test this out. It is about to be nighttime, so let's go to sleep first, and we'll test it out. So, there we go. Off to bed. Okay, so there we go. And let's put the jetpack on. I think we have to put it here to use it. How does that look? You can't even see it because of the the adventure backpack's covering it up. You can't even see that on there. Right, so let's get the hang glider out as well, because I suspect this may not last long like the quest says. I'm curious to see how far up we go. Alright, here we go. Time for takeoff. Alright, there we go. We're going up. How high does this go? Still going up. And I think we've stopped going up, actually. But I'm still going. I'm still able to move around. Maybe there's a height. No, I'm going up more. Nope, we ran out. Right, so I think there's like a height limit to that thing then, because it stopped going up after a certain amount of time. Is it completely empty now? Yeah, completely empty. So it lasted a little bit, but it might have been a height limit, actually, it looked like, because I think it was still working, but it stopped moving upwards. I don't know. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad then. Yeah, so we can put that back into there. So maybe, right, actually, let's test. Let's test one more thing with this then. So if I have this Electrotine generator with the solar panel, is this going to automatically charge it? So this is empty right now. Okay. I'm not seeing any result on that just yet. So the alternative would be, and I know this is about to waste a lot of Electrotine I have in here, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if I should waste all that. Oh, so this thing charges way faster if it's already filled with Electrotine. Look at that, it's already up to 50%. Interesting. Right, that makes sense. Alright, so if I take you out quick, let me just test this as well. Charging bench, if I put you out here, put a solar panel on you, are you going to do anything? No. Right, I don't know what the solar panel does then. Maybe it takes time, I don't know. But we got the jetpack working. I'm quite happy with that. I mean, it doesn't do too much, but it could be useful to get up in a pinch. So, it's quite good. Right, so solar panel, I'm just going to leave you on there, and the rest of our Electrotine in there, and I'll make sure you're charged up. Alright, so we are going to end off by opening up our loot bags for today. So we have 2 loot bags. In fact, do we have any other quests to turn in? Let me just double check. Nope, doesn't look like it. No more quests. So we have 2 LV loot bags. So here we go. Let's see what we get. So, ooh, we got some barrels and a macerator. That's a pretty good one, actually. A machine. Alright, so let's see what we get from this one. 4 books. Well, that's okay. Alright, well, that was a pretty good episode overall, I'd say. We got some new stuff. The Adventure Backpack. A nice upgrade right there. We have our first jetpack, which it's okay. Could be better, but for a first jetpack, I'd call it pretty good. I mean, you can't expect the best jetpack ever from your first one. And we also now have an automation now for the raw silicon, which we now have over a stack again. So we're doing quite well. This comes in at a pretty decent rate. I just have to keep the cobblestone filled up. But look at that. I mean, it's hardly dropped. I mean, so even a stack of cobbles, a stack of a stack, I guess is what it would be. 64 stacks of cobblestone would last quite a while, so I'll just have to fill that up manually. Save some power from having to make it using the walk breaker. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that, and they're pretty good upgrades. So yeah, I think that is where we are going to end this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.